Hello everyone and welcome to the first episode of Meme Monday. We're going to try a meme type deck in Arena and see how we can do with it. So I'll be on, of course, channel Trevor-The-Timmy, so thank you for joining. If you would be so kind as to like and subscribe to the channel, I would definitely appreciate it as we try to grow and put out additional videos. So just taking a quick walkthrough on today's deck. We are playing a party deck as stated, and this will be focused on an elf party theme. So going through our 1-drops, we've got the Sentinel here to tap for additional mana, help fix our mana. Wildwood Tracker, it's a little bit of beat down. It can basically be a 2/2 most of the time when it's attacking. It does give us the warrior type. Most of the Sentinel gives us the rogue type. The Elderfang Disciple for a little bit of card advantage. Also a cleric. Got the Masked Vandal, which actually can remove a lot of different things between artifacts and enchantments, and being a changeling, it'll fill in basically any of the gaps we need. And the same way with the Paragon, which also can give us a little bit of card advantage, find us what we're looking for. We've got Herald to find additional cards, give us a little bit of card advantage, what we're searching for. And then the really cool part of the deck, we'll skip over to the top end here, is the Coveted Prize, where it gets reduced by 1 mana for each of the party creature types you have. So ideally we get this down to costing 1 mana, and then by having a full party we get to search for something with CMC 4 or less and cast it without playing it, without paying for it, excuse me. So we get to search for any of our sweet targets, which we'll look through next. So these are all the targets for our Coveted Prize. So we've got Binding of the Old Gods to get rid of any kind of troublesome permanent. It also can let us get in there for a lot of damage with our little elves by giving them all Death Touch at the end. So they have a bigger creature they don't really want to try to block. We've got Tyvar Kel, the Elf Planeswalker, so we can search for him. If we get to a little bit of a grindier situation where we just need to start making elves or giving the elves +1/+1 and Death Touch, and eventually we can build up towards that emblem to start to get a lot of card advantage. We've got Toski, the awesome squirrel legend. So again, in a card advantage type matchup, it could be very good where just hitting them with the elves will replace themselves. We've got the Basalt Ravager just to remove something if we need to. Since most of the creatures will be elves, it ideally will be in that doing 3 to 4 damage range when it comes into play. So you can either burn somebody out, which is pretty awesome. Generally, when you're looking at a green-black elves deck, you wouldn't expect them to be able to burn you out for the last 4 points of damage, so that could definitely get somebody. Otherwise, it just could end up being a Flame Tongue Kavu type effect to remove a creature. Yet another way to either gain some life or potentially burn somebody out. So more options in that regard. And then we've got the Squad Commander, so that'll allow us to ideally have that full party, make 4 1/1s in addition to it being the 3/3 body, and then we can basically pump all of our creatures by +1/+0 and get in there for lots of damage while being indestructible. And then finally, our other party payoff is Tazri. Ideally, this is coming down again for just 1 mana, where we'll hopefully have the full party, and then it can actually get some card advantage by activating its other ability, where you're paying either blue or 2 generic mana, black or 2 generic mana, red or 2 generic mana, or green and 2 generic mana, excuse me. And you're to look at the top 6 cards of your library, and you can reveal 2 cleric, rogue, warrior, wizard, and or ally cards from among them and put them into your hand. So get down pretty early, be a big body, and then also get us a lot of card advantage. And then of course we've got the mana base here, mostly Abzan colors, but we do get all of our fixing. Having these is nice because they can be found with Binding of the Old Gods. And we've got the different pathways to make sure we can cast all our spells. So let's jump in and play some games with this and see how we do. Have some party time here. And see if we can pay our mana correctly. Playing the correct side of lands will be a big part of this, I'm sure, to ensure we actually can cast all of our spells. Okay. And we do have green mana here, so that's good. Got a couple different creature types, so we are going to keep this. So we've got the mono white life gain slash aggro type deck. We'll get this down. Probably want to make them discard a card most likely next turn. Being able to exile an artifact or enchantment could be good if they run out of Heliod. So we'll hold this back. Already got our red mana here, so we'll play this for black. Have them discard a card and put a body in front of the speaker. If they attack, we'll definitely make the trade, even though we normally want additional bodies here, or at least consider making the trade. It's got the kicker of 3, so we can pay it for 5. Interesting. So next turn, we're only going to be able to play 1 card, most likely. We are going to go for the block still. Well, we do need the white mana here. We're going to just play this out. We'll play another creature next turn and then should be able to start tapping for some additional mana. If they start getting up to the point where we're worried about them activating a speaker, we can make them lose some life. Looks like they're going to have some angel cards coming out. Okay. So if we can get our full party, that'd be ideal. Not playing anything into that's a little rough. So we've got a rogue and a warrior. We're just going to play this out right now. Let's get a 4/6 body down. It doesn't unfortunately help with a bunch of different party types, but it is just a big body. And we should be able to activate it now if we want to. We've got all the Valkyries. Okay, well, they're definitely an angel deck. I think we're in some trouble here. Really need to get the full party online. It's not being able to remove anything is unfortunate. If they had the normal Heliod build, that would be a lot better for us. So we need to get Cleric. So this goes part of the way there. I think even our removal spell is probably not going to be quite enough because we're going to have lethal coming in next turn. So I think we're going to gain some life here, but alternatively we can have them, well, losing 3 doesn't do anything. We're going to gain the life and try to stay alive here. See if one more turn allows us to do anything. We had a little bit of awkward mana. Well, we're pretty dead to that. Well, we're not literally dead that turn. We don't have something that's going to get us out of that. There's just too many flyers. Okay, let's give it another try. Hopefully we'll have a little more of a party this time. So we've got green and black here. I think we're going to keep this because we can go Sentinel into Disciple. And basically, most creatures we draw should give us the full party for prize. It's a pretty fast start. We actually get what resembles a mana elf. Have them discard a card. Let's play the second elf out. So getting in for one I don't think makes a huge difference here. Well, there's some kind of aggressive or combo-ish deck if they're putting that in. It's probably the dragon deck where they make it really big and then have it do double its damage or fling it. So we'll need to be somewhat aggressive. This is probably just coming down as a creature next turn. Yeah, we're just going to fill out our party. Get a good aggressive start. Next turn we're casting this for 1 black. We're probably casting both of them, most likely. Figure out what 4-drop we actually want here. It might just be that for card advantage, realistically. The Planeswalker's not a bad option. I think we're just going to go with the squirrel here and just draw a bunch of cards. Let's draw 5. That seems reasonable. Hopefully at least one of these is a land. Okay, we've got some lands here. Doing another green. We're going to go with another green. Just a little awkward having the red card in hand. So we're going to go with the red. Let's play that out. Let's get more creatures down. So we need them to not have a Wrath here. At least he's indestructible, so we still get in for 1, but that messes up our plans pretty bad. Let's go with the other green here. We can play this, remove the god. It seems just like there's no reason to leave that around. 6. Actually, we could hit them for 6. If they block here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they'd be at 1. Yeah, we're just going to remove that. Just don't really see a reason to. Okay, we got there. Don't see a reason to leave that around. It seems like they could. That's really the only way they could seal a game there, is having a weird combo turn. Oh, let's get there once with the party. Let's see if we can keep it going. That's a nice aggressive start. Turns out when you get to cast a prize for 1 mana, it's pretty good. It's kind of a cool Birthing Pod-esque deck where you're playing a lot of one-ofs that you get to search for in the right situations. This is definitely a slower start. This isn't a card. We can remove something and discard, so we're going to keep it. This is probably one we really shouldn't keep, though. Nope, we're going to go for the mulligan, then. Okay, this is a little better. We're going to throw him back for right now. So we can cast this on turn 1. Followed up with another couple creatures, so we need the black mana. Do not need blue right now. Get the Sentinel out so we can start using that mana right away. we had a second copy of Sentinel or Llanowar Elves or whatever, that would be, Sentinel's probably the ideal one. Definitely a little better than him in this deck. Play one of these next turn. Okay, they might just be an Elves deck. We know we definitely want a black mana, so we'll hold the other one. Let's just play that as a 3/2. Get the tracker out. We're gonna need this to find something decent. It might be best to hit the Planeswalker, hit that Tyvar. Probably try to get in there for 2. If they want to trade 1-drop for 1-drop. So we do have a replacement wizard coming down. Well, that's a little less good. Now we will not be attacking. This probably means they're just a removal deck, which, again, not great for us. So we're going to take the Disciple here. Get in there for 3 if they want to trade. We'd like him to not stick around so they don't just run away with card advantage. It's definitely not the hit we wanted. We need to top deck some removal spell for him. He's such a swingy card against a creature deck, just insane, because you just gain 1,000,000 life. Well, we almost want to block him, but... Oh, they do poison damage now, don't they? Interesting. We'll take poison. Oh, well, that's a solid draw. Let's tap that one. So the question, are we okay? We are okay trading this if they want to. We like the upside of drawing a second card. That land down. So we need to block at least one thing. So this would be chump blocking. So we really don't want to take 6 more poison and die. So we will not play that. Assuming he stays around, I think we actually can win now. He should just give us more card advantage than this gives for them. But we need to not die to poison too. Okay, so we will block the 1/1 and let it die. I don't think there's a reason to chump block anything else. So now we do need to, and this has to attack every turn, unless we tap it for mana, which we very well may. Do we have a cleric out? We do not currently. So we can get the full party, get Tazri down. This can keep getting in. So we'll probably offer the trade here again too. So we got 2 more creatures down. Oh, we did that wrong. We want to use that for mana. Oops. We'll survive, but not ideal. Draw 2. Play that out. And I think we're gonna go with the additional green. Just play out our entire hand here. This guy's been just nutso in this deck. At least in the few games we've played so far. Definitely allows you to keep the gas flowing. Get all of our sentinels out. So if we hit a prize, I think, well, we'd probably just be getting the raptor actually, because that just burns them out. So that's probably the easiest one. So we've got what, 4, 5, 6. Okay, got their 7. So it'd be 8 it would do. It must have just been Death Touch aggro. I thought with having Chevelle in there, they would have had some removal spells. We'll take it. Got that second win. Not a bad start to a meme Monday. We'll take 2-1 so far. Let me know what you think about the deck. This is courtesy of Sam Black. Of course, it's the list from him, so it's giving him all the credit. But I think it is a pretty cool list. I've had fun playing it so far, so I definitely recommend it if you're looking for something different. That gives me that reminiscence back to the birthing pod type days where you have your, obviously you don't get to chain up the same way, but you have your one card that can tutor for a bunch of different cards in a specific situation. So this does fix all of our mana basically. Maybe, well, if we play this on turn 1, we play 2 on turn 2, we're going to keep it. It's got the mana. It's got a lot of types too. We'd love to have another green source that was untapped. The tapped green source isn't as good. So we'll get the Sentinel down. Probably get another, since we have the red anyway, we'll get a second 1-drop down. Sentinel, Tracker. We'll be able to play this for 1 pretty quickly. We've got a couple payoffs here, which is nice. Haven't got to use this yet. I figured somebody's got to have an artifact or an enchantment. If we have all our mana, we'd probably play both of these and just try to go for the full party, and then follow it up with 2 insane spells. That's assuming we have an untapped land. Otherwise, we might just get Tazri out. I assume they have some kind of removal spell and are trying to decide what to do with it. Okay, good old Glass Casket. I'll get that tap land out. Unfortunately, we don't have a creature in our graveyard yet, so we do want to hold this because we'll get value out of it at some point. That doesn't cost less. Let's get the Disciple out. Get them down a card. We're going to hit for 1 because we can't do anything for 1 mana here. Apparently we will want the Vandals against this deck if they're playing Dance of the Manse. So hopefully they will have, if they're playing more removal, they will remove something without exiling it. So that doesn't get us another type down, unfortunately. This doesn't do anything for us yet, so get us a third type down, but still not enough. Let's get in there for 2. Okay, so we do get a little busted up by Omen. It's not my favorite thing that happened, but we'll use the Vandal here. Get back to closer to a full party. Got Warrior, Cleric, and all. So this can still come down for 2 next turn. We can get in with these 2. So them not having a white, we probably should have just played him first, but so I still believe they have another Omen here. So since we have another Warrior, I'm okay getting in with him. If they have to trade 2 for it. I mean, they probably do have another one of these, but we'll deal with that. We can't sit back forever. If they will eventually start hitting lands, and they should be a good late game type deck. Okay, got the removal spell for him. Makes sense. No reason to let us activate it. Could end up just searching for something, which is a little awkward. So yeah, our best play would be something to finish the party out. Oh, please tell me you hit the Masked Vandal. Oh. We get so much value if we hit a second one then. Okay. I've already got a white source, so we're gonna keep the green up. So we'll have 2 of any specific type. So get in for 2, which isn't great. This gives us a wizard, which is one we do not have. So I think we're just going to play that out for the creature types. Get in for 2. It does put a reasonable clock on too, just being a 4/2. But keeps getting us closer to playing these. Not even sure what our best find is here. I would tend to think it'd be the squirrel to gain card advantage, but when they have all the exile effects, it's probably not the best then. That's not a bad draw. Just a threat that replaces itself. Hitting a Vandal's pretty good too. So we do have a card to exile, and we will get one of these gone. Probably be a post-combat play. Actually, maybe we'll be doing it before just so we get our prize. That seems more right. We have a cleric. Keep going green since that's the majority of our. We're going to go for the squirrel here. If we can hit for 2 or 3, just draw a bunch of cards. Helps if I can talk, which is well worth it. Yep, we will exile that, sure enough. So we should be doing 4. Actually, we might be able to kill them here. 3, 4, 5. So this with elves is another 5. Yeah, let's go for the squirrel. So we'll draw some cards. And next turn, well, actually we can just do it off the second prize. See what they've got. So I think that's the best one, because this only pumps us for 1. Binding does get something back, which is reasonable. I think that's our best. Actually, this might just be... Yeah, let's go with that. Put the commander out. Get a bunch of 1/1s. Pumps our team up. And they're indestructible. That seems pretty solid. Sure, they've got Omen, so they can chump to stay alive. Oh, we didn't have any more black mana. That's a little awkward. Should have planned for that a little better. So we're basically hoping they don't have a Wrath here. Which means I should have gotten the squirrel to draw some cards. So they have a Wrath, we're in some trouble. They do not, though, so we'll take that. Good old 3-1. Just as a reminder, if you're enjoying what you're seeing, please consider liking and subscribing. Definitely appreciate that. Leave me a comment with any of the lines you would have taken differently. Anything else you see. Definitely appreciate the interaction, and we'll hopefully keep putting out some fun videos. Master Lab. Okay, so we can go 1 and 2. Don't have any black mana currently, but we will. The tap lands are definitely being a little awkward. We've got to pay a couple payoffs, so we're going to try it. Let's get that out of the way. We haven't got to kick this yet. I feel like we should be able to keep trying things for a long time, but... Okay, we knights, I assume, based on that. So drawing a land would be probably best here. Specifically needs to be a land that produces black mana, though. Oh, another Death Touch deck. This is... I don't know if it's the same person or if we're just hitting all the Death Touch decks today. Yeah, the third copy is pretty awkward there. Especially because we can't really block now. We can't cast any cards on our hand if they die. This could be a rough game. They're going to fight. Well, that's no good. Here comes the slow death. Oh, we got our third color. We're just attacking because we're not really interested in trading. I mean, if they have any removal spells, they're just going to cascade and win from here. Like that one. That'll do the trick. Disciple's not particularly good. I mean, they already have Death Touch anyway, so I don't think Vandal's where we're at. I guess we're just going to take the Disciple. We really love to be able to take the land. Let's take a Disciple. They do attack with him, we'll go for the trade. It sucks that they draw a card, but we're not going to win if he sticks around. For that reason, I assume they will not attack into him unless they have a second copy. But I'd say we're definitely less than 5% to win this game. They can draw forever. Okay. Deck's got a little bit of grinding to it, but hey, look, they all have double Death Touch. Jeez. Yeah, we've seen enough here. We're not winning this one. We're not building up enough creatures to do anything. We won't be able to block the Questing Beast effectively, and just chumping it while we take damage isn't going to get us there. So the opponent's got us on that one. They double Death Touched us to death. Okay. Still 3-2 so far. Not bad for being a meme deck. These tap lands are just destroying us. Kind of have to keep to, like, if this is an untapped land, we can go 1-2, but we'll keep it. We're going to play Disciple and then try to sneak in 2 creatures at a different point. Hopefully hit another land. Should probably be mulliganing more aggressively. It seems like we're so dependent on the 1-drop. Need an elf, Bird of Paradise. We want the second green. Let's get this out. If they have a removal spells red, they don't really want to burn it on a 1-1. Get them down a card. Okay, so they're not mono red. They are probably the, is it Tempo deck? Or there is a Giants. Okay. Come on, land. Any land. That'll do. Vandal, you're not doing anything for us yet. So we're going to play Herald out, and hopefully we get something with the Vandal eventually. We'll go with a second black source. We might need that. Either get really aggressive or take the Sentinel. We're going to take Sentinel just because we'd like to, I guess we could play that off the white there, but having the mana seems relevant. If they don't interact with us, we can hit them a couple times and then go for the burnout here. Hit us for 4. Yeah, you got it. We got a little race on our hands here. Oh, why would you not? I guess they really did not want to trade. We'll take a second white, I guess. We probably are just playing that, so we got a Cleric Warrior. It's only 2. Just to be most mana efficient, because otherwise we're not getting any value off this, so we're playing these two. Maybe that's fine. We're only getting in for 4 anyway. So we'd still be 1 type short. And let's get these 2 out there. We'll start to get a little more aggressive. Hopefully they do not have a sweeper of some kind. So we can still get in for 3. Interesting. We'll probably have more warriors than we'll have elves when it's all said and done. Okay, dealing double damage is pretty good. I assume they get the giant removal spell. Yep. To be expected. Another black source. Just keep trying to spread that out. This is just doing nothing. We're probably not getting in for anything here. But we still are. We can actually do that. That's not bad. And then go for the burnout next turn. Let's make a bunch of 1/1s. We're only getting in for 2 here, actually. But better than nothing. Get them a little close to that burnout. If we think there's reason we're going to die, we'll throw a chump blocker in front. Otherwise, we will swing for a boatload next turn and then hopefully get a burnout. I don't think that worked the way you wanted it to. It's not a giant, I don't believe, when it's the instant. It was a good effort, though. I'm pretty sure they're dead if that was their plan and they don't have another removal spell. This will make everything indestructible. We'll take 6. You got us. Oh. Well. They should be pretty dead then. Let's go for prize. I think it's just going to be that to deal a bunch of damage to their face. Take the Ravager. Might not even need to get into combat here. Yep, got it. We hit him dead by a solid amount there. Get up there to 4-2, not bad. Probably jam a couple more games and see where we end up. It's been a fun deck to play. I'd recommend giving it a try. I don't know if it's the world's most competitive deck, especially in best of 1, but there's definitely a lot of fun. I think you get to make a lot of choices. I'm sure I'm definitely not making them all optimal yet. Look, we get our untapped lands and don't have a lot of early plays. We're going to give it a try. It's not super great, the fact that we can't cast a lot of things. But we go this. We're going to mulligan. I would love to keep. I really dislike mulliganing, but we will keep this. The question is, which payoff do we want to throw back? So in theory, no warrior into here. So we're going to get rid of the prize. It doesn't feel good to be getting rid of prize, but so you have to go to the green source here. Get him down. Need to opt, I assume. Or the flash 1-2. Or they're just putting a stop to try to make me think they have something. Okay, so it's on. We do want to have the white eventually. I don't know if we're... let's go with the black from here. Play that out. This actually pumps it all because it's technically a human. That's a bummer. Is it considered a... Oh, it's non-human. This isn't everything. I was thinking this was a shapeshifter. My mistake. It's a nice little 5-point clock. Hopefully they don't have an additional land to follow it up. They do. So we can go with a binding eventually. We want to get this out. Let's cast this right now so they can't remove something. Get him for 5. We'll see if they have something that gives us double strike, then we could be in trouble. Otherwise, I think we have a pretty good clock, especially because we're going to follow up with a binding next turn. Okay, that we can definitely handle. So it's binding on this. We will go with the red. Let's try to stop them from burning us out. We've got them dead unless they can kill us next turn. So in theory, if they have 2 burn spells, which is down to 9, that's 5 more. So it's down to 4. Okay, that's not a bad sign. They don't think they have a win, though. I think they probably wanted to hold that back. They could have tried to chump to stay alive. We'll see what they have. Because there could have been like a trade here, chump, or a eat this, chump. If they're just attacking with 1, that's definitely a good sign. I've already got a red source, so let's just get the Triome. Don't have blue right now, so that's a little awkward. Could make them discard a card. I think we want to keep this open, though, just in case if they kill the Tazri that's already out, we'll follow it up with another one. Probably gonna want to chump here, I feel like. Oh, sure, you've got a Borrower. That's not bad from them. Definitely gives them more chances to kill us. So we're gonna go to get as many creatures out as we can, and we want to limit their resources. So just make them discard a card. Could be wrong because they could bring that back. But if they do, I think we're still in an okay place. If they're bringing that back, they're hitting us for 6. We'll put a couple lethal attackers out there. Plus everything will have Death Touch on our next turn. So I feel cautiously in a good spot. Well, that should be enough to do it. We will exile the riddle form. So it just becomes an addition. Okay. So let's cast the Vandal. Remove this as a blocker. There we go. Getting there with the good old-fashioned beatdowns. Okay. Picking up some wins today. I think that is 5-2. I believe that's where we're at so far. Oof. This is an interesting one because we do have the ability to find something. I think we're going to mulligan though. We're just not having any early plays. Well, we will keep this. We're going to get rid of a tracker. That seems like the easy move. So play this on 1. Play one of these on 2. Okay, that we do not want to do. We want to play a green spell here. See if they feel like they're going to bluff. Most likely they just have a red Bone Crusher. Okay. So I'll go with black here. I'd really love for that to... we need a good old cleric. Or I guess a rogue. Either or we could take. Well, that does function similarly. So let's place another green. We like having our green mana. I'm not sure what we're actually getting with this. So it's just to deal 5 to that. That's probably not good enough though. Getting the squirrel leads to some really awkward attacks because we're chump attacking into this. Because if we are getting the deal damage, we should be playing this first. I don't think we are though. So let's cast the prize. I guess it could just be the commander. Binding does get rid of it, finds a forest. Because we're not going to be able to most likely get up to the emblem. I think it's just the commander. Let's make a bunch of... All of our creatures are indestructible. Not a bad place to be. Get in there. Probably hitting them for 4. Let's see what we can do. They really need a deal 3 damage spell. Otherwise, they're going to not be in the best place ever. Good thing about this being at the beginning of combat is we don't have to awkwardly try to run into something we either know if we're indestructible or know if we're not. Okay. Interesting. Let's play this first. Discard a card. So they do 16 if they have a cleave and a red source. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So we're assuming they're going to block here, block here and here. So it'd be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We'll have a couple blockers back. If they have something ridiculous like a couple of these, they could get us, but I think we just need to go for the race, make them block with those two. Okay, they get to do 1 to me. And let's play that out. We will try to chump. We'll probably put both in front of the beast just in case. I got there. I'll take it. I think that's 6-2 overall. That's pretty awesome for this deck. I'm happy with that. Thank you again for everyone for watching today. We're going to call it there for our good old first Meme Monday. If you have any good deck ideas you'd like to see that would fit under that category, please do share. I'd love to try some additional ones. Consider and please giving me a like and a follow. Would really appreciate it. And I hope everyone has a great day.